questions we wrestle with as Christians about who God is, how do we live out our faith, what is the Bible, what is the truth of the Bible, what are we supposed to believe, how are we supposed to live. There are really big, deep questions that we ask each other, that we ask God, that we wrestle with ourselves. And that's why the Cultivate podcast exists, to help us go deeper in our understanding of who God is, His Word, and the way that He's called us to live.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Cultivate podcast, the Grove Church. I'm Charlie Loften. I'm the lead pastor there. And here with creative director, podcast producer, extraordinary friend, great question asker, Bagel Boone.
Whoop, whoop.
I need a family member to start calling you Bagel, and then I'll know it's taken root.
That's going to be hard. You could, well.
In-laws count. If I can get Jonna, I get Jonna to do it.
Yeah, you could maybe get Jonna.
Okay, we'll see.
Everybody else is pretty set in their ways of what they call me.
I get it. All right. And
or you could start Jay.
Oh.
He'd be a good target.
One of your nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
How's your Aunt Bagel doing?
Yeah.
Looking like I'm
They'd be like,
insane.
what are you talking about?
We are working our way through the parables.
Yes.
And we have covered, what have we covered?
Whoa, wait, before
parables?
that,
Oh,
I got to hit you with a controversial question.
hit me.
All right, so I was on my way back from Kansas City yesterday
Okay.
with two fellow Northwest Arkansas people.
Mhm.
And one of them made the claim that Northwest Arkansas is the Midwest. What are your thoughts? Because I found everything I was trying to justify it the South ended up being a Jonesboro rooted answer.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'll say to people. Like, they come to the church and they moved here from Cincinnati or California or whatever, especially if they got forced to come here, right? And they're like, I didn't think it was going to be this guy. Yeah. I'm so surprised, right?
Uh-huh.
And like, you had some stereotypes about Arkansas, like, it's like,
don't leave the area.
This is not that.
Yeah.
But I can take you 20 minutes. Yeah. In any direction,
and we'll hit something.
And I can show it to you, right? And so there is almost a sense in which, and I've talked about this before. This is not the first. It's probably not even the 10th time I've thought about this. It is almost like it is like a little Midwestern oasis that sits in the middle of the South. Because I don't think you can draw a line. It's like, this is the Midwest, and you cut it out, and you're like, well, this is all Midwest. Wait, you gonna put Gentry in there?
Yes.
Bella Vista?
Yeah.
Harrison?
Yeah.
Like, where are you drawing that line? And so if it has to be a continuous thing that you can draw on a map, I don't know that you can do it. It's almost like it's like an outpost for the Midwest that exists just over the border.
Yeah.
But I understand. I fully embrace that sentiment.
Really?
The idea of it.
But I think we do have Southern roots in a lot of I don't know. But I guess I get back to the point where I would say, I say miss, or I say yes or no, sir.
Yeah.
But that's because I was raised in Jonesboro.
Right. I mean, it's like, is Branson in the Midwest or is it in the South? What about Springfield?
Springfield feels Midwest.
Joplin.
That feels Southern.
Right. I mean, but there's like again, if you've got to draw it out, I am 70% yes, it's Midwest.
But you wouldn't draw the line all the way down to us. You would just say we're a post in the middle.
Again, if you have to make it continuous, then you're going to get some spots of Southern. Yeah. You got to take in Siloam Springs. Have you been to Siloam Springs?
You got to get Gentry.
Right. Siloam Springs and Gentry are going to be in clearly the South.
Yeah.
Fayetteville definitely feels more like Kansas City than it feels like El Dorado.
Yeah. Yes. But I didn't know if that was because we're not near agriculture or cattle.
No, it's not. It's not simply that. We just also have been infected.
Yes.
Like a mustard seed.
With a
lot of non-Southern people. There's a really high percentage of non-native Arkansans here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Arkansans that end up here think they're a little bit better than regular Arkansans.
Which is ridiculous.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous.
So you're moving back to Jonesboro then?
No, but I don't think it makes me not like I am from Arkansas.
Right.
And that's the whole state.
You picked here for a reason.
Yeah,
you could
but
have
I
gone
wouldn't.
back at any time.
Yeah.
To real Arkansas.
Yes.
To pure Arkansas. There's a lot you can do it right now. I'm sure there's plenty of people in Arkansas looking for a creative director.
Sure. But when I go to New York, I still say I'm from Arkansas. And that's the whole connotation.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say I'm from the Midwest.
No. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say that's a very instructive thing. I mean, people are more likely to associate us with Texas than they are.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, it's next to Texas. But then I asked this question: what about Austin, Texas? What is that?
That's an enigma.
Is that a southern city?
You know how there's
it exists geographically in the South.
Yeah.
But has a lot more in common with the Midwest than it does with what we associate with Southern culture.
Yeah.
We are not particularly culturally Southern, except when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Because we are an SEC town.
Right.
So you know how there's the British invasion?
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when that happened?
I want to try not to be offended by the fact that you think that I was around for the Beatles.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I missed the Beatles.
So sorry about that. That was my parents.
Yep,
okay.
it's fine.
I think they should do a documentary about the Texas invasion to the University of Arkansas.
When they gave in-state tuition to
it is
people in Texas.
Insane and rampant.
You meet a college student, they're more likely to be from Kansas City or Texas than they are from.
It's the University of Texas at Arkansas.
And Kansas City.
But
whereabouts? Overland Park. That's how it goes.
You're so right.
Anyways, wow. Parables.
That was important.
That was important. I get it. You got to give the fans something outside.
Yeah.
You know. So we worked our way through the parable of the sower, parable of the weeds, and then we did the parable of the leaven and mustard seed together. And I should say this, that there is a parable here at the end of Matthew chapter 13 called the parable of the net that essentially is the same one as the weeds. It talks about somebody, they throw out a net, they pull it to shore, and there's good fish and bad fish. Mm-hmm. But then they sort it out in the end, and it's going to be kind of like
end. Okay.
Same basic idea. I should have mentioned that when we covered that. I'm rectifying that now because again, just like what we did last week, it's a 2-for-1 in Matthew chapter 13, starting verse 44.
Okay.
The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it.
Feels like they're withholding good stuff.
Okay, so we got to figure this out. So we got the same basic idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for something, and I find it, and it is of great value.
I had never noticed that. They're both actively searching it out.
And once I find it, I am willing to sacrifice everything to get it. Well, so now we've got really two questions. And they're essentially two parts of the same question, really. In our metaphor here, in our parable, who is the seeker and what is the prize?
Mm-hmm. The seeker would be humans.
You? Okay,
man.
So you are. Mm-hmm. And the pearl of great price, or the treasure hidden in the field is
knowledge of God, knowing God, becoming a child of God.
Okay. So we are in a whole series here of parables, a mini series here about the kingdom of God.
Oh, I got it wrong.
Right? No, it's close enough.
Okay.
It's close enough, right? And so I'm going to give you two interpretations for this.
Okay.
One is what we will call the traditional view.
Okay.
And one is but what about, but what if sort of deal.
Okay.
And I think in the end, I hold to the traditional view, but I think it's worth considering.
Okay.
The traditional view is, yes, we are the merchant. We are the person searching the land, whatever. And then we discover the kingdom. And once we see what the kingdom is, I will sacrifice everything to get it. What I will lay down my life, right? I will give up my life. I will give up everything that I have in order to embrace this. Okay, that is the traditional view.
That's like that verse that Jesus says, "Who's ever willing to give up their life. No. I don't remember it.
Right.
I crapped out.
There are verses where Jesus talks like this,
Okay.
right? You should, if you give up your life, you'll find it. And you try to hold on to your life, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
And so that's the same sort of deal. Like you discover something and you realize everything else in my life is meaningless. I should sacrifice everything else in my life for the pursuit of this one thing that is greater than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
A different view is that Jesus is the one that is seeking.
Oh.
And you are the valuable thing that was found.
But what is he selling off?
He gave his life. He sacrificed his life. You are the prize that Jesus died for. You didn't you didn't give up your life to get Jesus. Jesus gave up his life for you.
Yes.
Jesus is somebody sacrifice. In this parable, someone made a sacrifice. Did you make a sacrifice or did Jesus make a sacrifice?
I guess to be theologically accurate, Jesus
made the sacrifice, right? So
but he uses the language of you sacrificing, you give up. That's the one that's like you lose your soul and gain. What does
it gain you if you what does it profit you if you gain the whole world but lose your soul?
Yeah, and so it's like you are sacrificing,
right? That
you're not. I mean, you could list out however you want to put it, but
so the question theologically that people who take, I've already said that I lean towards position one.
Yeah.
Okay. But since I was going to decide how I was going to take this based on which one you responded to. So now I feel like I have to make the case for the one that you're making the frowny face about.
Yes.
Well, only because Jesus is the one that made the sacrifice, one, and two, you having to sell things and buy the kingdom is a works salvation mentality.
I guess. But it feels strange to put in the perspective of Jesus had to go find us as if he didn't know who he was.
That's the incarnation.
Well, he
left where he was to come and find us and then sacrificed everything for us to be his. Do we belong to Jesus or does Jesus belong to us?
But it's not negating the idea that he foreknew who the children would be that would turn to him.
Well, in this sense, it would be he did this for the whole world.
Sure.
Right? Jesus died for the
yeah.
world,
Yes.
Right?
What was your question?
I didn't ask a question.
I don't know that this one feels like a stretch. Like we're doing cartwheels to try and get there.
Well, but like you said, it is theologically accurate to say that Jesus died. He made the sacrifice. You didn't make a sacrifice. Correct. What did you do? In order to receive the kingdom as you understand it, what did you do?
I mean, the only thing that it says is to confess with your lips that
is not the same as
a sacrifice.
Right.
Right.
And so it is not. So that doesn't make sense. Jesus is the one that sacrificed, and there is no work, and it sounds a lot like work. You got to go back and sell everything that you have, right?
To qualify getting it.
Right. But now I'll come back. But Jesus also does say, that you need to, take up your cross daily and follow me.
Let the dead bury their dead.
Right. And so one of the things that I think that one of the reasons why people find option 2 so appealing is because it does fall in line very well with a Calvinist, theologically accurate, semi-Calvinist approach to our understanding of theology and what does it mean to become a Christian, right? And it is not exclusively Calvinist to say that there's no work to have a full grace.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's Luther too, right?
Yeah.
It's more Lutheran than it's more reformist than Calvinist specifically. Yeah. It's really what most people think about Calvinism. It is definitely Protestant Reformation. This makes sense in a post-Protestant Reformation understanding about what does it mean to, quote, become a Christian, to receive Christ.
Right.
This switching it to option 2 fits in better with that theologically. Now you're talking about retrofitting a parable into a particular way of theological thinking that developed 1,500 years after this.
Yeah.
Who is Jesus talking to in this moment, and what is their understanding? Right? And again, there is a lot of talk that Jesus uses about sacrifice and laying down your life. And we're not limited in what Jesus is not talking about. And, the becoming a Christian is like this.
Right.
Finding salvation by grace through faith in the Son of God and his death and resurrection alone is like this.
Right.
He is talking about a different concept than our narrow understanding of the theological doctrine of salvation.
Well, it seems like
he's talking about this idea of the kingdom.
This may be a wrong direction to take it, but it seems like we also don't need to confuse it with him talking about a decision point. He's talking about a life.
Right. And so we are deciding that the kingdom of heaven is becoming a Christian. Those two are the same things. If the kingdom of heaven is something different than that, or receiving Christ is only a part of that, once we decide that the kingdom of heaven is the same as becoming a Christian, well, then it's got to be option 2. But if Jesus is talking about something else, then we need to let him speak on his own terms,
right?
Because he's talking. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. What is the treasure hidden in the field? Kingdom of heaven.
The kingdom
of heaven is like a treasure in the field. He's not saying, it doesn't seem to be, all due respect to option 2 people, he doesn't seem to be saying the concept of heaven is like this story I'm about to tell you, where there is a treasure hidden in a field.
Right. Because it feels more similar to me like when, I guess maybe he's talking to the disciples or people who are wanting to follow him, and he's like, this is the way, the truth, and the life. He hasn't said that yet, I guess, but he's saying, but foxes have holes, dens, whatever. This is how I live. So this is a different way of life, but it actually is, I'm bringing you life to the full. So it is a treasure, but it's not maybe what you expected your life to be like until you met this intersection.
And there's a difference between saying, this is what the kingdom of heaven is like, and here is how you get there.
Right.
The kingdom of heaven is over there, and here's how you get there. What he's saying is the kingdom of heaven is the kind of thing that once you find it,
you want nothing but that.
You only want that. It does not say
this is how you
find it. And so again, that's why I'm just like, I'm not quite there to option 2.
Yeah.
I see it, and the first time I heard it, I was like,
whoa,
kudos to the person who thought of that. Because that does make a decent amount of sense. It's not stupid.
So you didn't frown the first time.
It's not what
you didn't frown the first time.
Well, you're a bit of a traditionalist.
Yeah.
You're not. I would have to really convince you that.
Yeah.
Something long,
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially if it smelled like Calvinism to you.
Sure.
Which that was your initial reaction to it. So Calvin.
But I think it does make sense, and that like once you see this, it doesn't have to do with this is how you transactionally receive salvation, or but it's talking about this is something you're not going to want to walk away from when you've really understood the truth of how good this thing is.
Right. And so I think that's the reason why they're trying to make it salvation. If you're making it salvation, fine, but that's not what he says. This is not a description of how you find the kingdom of heaven. It is said in both of them. How
valuable it is.
When a man found it, ... When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything.
Yeah.
It does not describe at all the process by which one finds the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Which is a theological idea that has not been developed yet. And all due respect, Jesus has not died on the cross yet.
Right. Yeah.
He's not even really into that, talking to them about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
What he is doing is painting a picture for something that is very, very different.
Yeah.
Now we are undoing a lot of what we said last week. This is not revolutionary.
Right.
This is immensely personal.
Mm-hmm.
This is something personal that happens to me. This is not large scale, subverting the system, turning the thing upside down. It is you finding something of great value and giving everything that you have to it once you discover it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, to be honest, if I got a problem here, it barely makes sense with last week's parable. Sure.
Well, you're flipping undesirable to desirable,
right? You're making it very different, and it is not counterintuitive to see a pearl.
Yeah, and want to go all in.
A man was searching in a field, and he saw a giant vat of weeds and thought, I've got to sell everything to go get this.
Right. That would be more like.
Yeah, it was something that the gospel, the kingdom, when you experience it, it will be obvious that it is of great value.
Mm-hmm.
That is the opposite of what he said last week. Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So you put all of these things together,
it's like you said, whiplash.
Yeah, like which is why we are 2,000 years later, and if you pick 10 pastors, theologians, seminary professors at random and brought them all in here and said, when Jesus talked about the kingdom, what did he mean? Everybody give me 2 minutes on what Jesus meant by the kingdom. And you went 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
You would get at a minimum, I think, 7 different answers.
Really?
I don't think what is he talking? Because we're trying to retrofit this into a post-Protestant Reformation, Lutheran / Calvinistic / Southern Baptists kind of idea of, quote, receiving Christ and living the Christian life, which I believe that to be theologically accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus' talk of the kingdom doesn't fit neatly into that.
Right.
And so a lot of people just kind of shrug, honestly, right? Or you get into a hyper dispensationalist kind of thing is like, well, the kingdom of heaven is what's going to happen at the end times in the 1,000-year reign. He's talking about a future event that doesn't have anything really to do with what you need to do with Jesus right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about values in a different time period that is in the future. And so you can just kind of don't worry about it.
Which just doesn't feel right to me.
Doesn't feel right. It's
I don't like that.
And so, a lot of people will just talk about it. It is a mindset. Mm-hmm. It is a moral code. It's everything. It is about what does a life fully connected to God look like in the biggest of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just, it is even too limiting to talk about it in terms of the Christian life. It's like 2 steps above that.
Mm-hmm.
That even thinking about this age that we're in right now, post-resurrection, pre-end times, the kingdom of heaven it's bigger and even greater than that. And you're experiencing it in this way at this time, but it's really something bigger and even deeper than that.
Yeah. Have you ever read the book Gentle and Lowly?
Mm-mm.
It's a really good book. Huge proponent. Really good book. But there's one part where he talks about when that lady reaches out and touches the corner of Jesus's garment or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And Jesus knew immediately that he had been touched. And he's saying that touch probably would have been the most unnatural feeling to that person, but actually in reality, it was the most natural thing she had ever felt, coming into touch with her creator. And that reminds me of she probably immediately knew he's really who he says he is.
Right.
And she would change everything.
Right.
Because she experienced the touch of the most natural thing she could ever come into contact with.
I love that.
You should read it. It's really, really good.
Who wrote it?
Dan Ortland, I think is how you say it.
So if you were going to try to put these last 2 weeks together, from the world's point of view, from the established system, it is going to feel like the kingdom is a virus.
Yeah.
That is turning everything upside down. But to someone who is really seeking meaning, who's really looking for capital L life, when you find it, it will be the greatest thing that you've ever seen. So from a perspective, you look at it and you think, this is not good. It is against our values. The world would say it is against our values. The Pharisees' world would have said it was against their values, that it is infectious. The world would be better off if this didn't exist. Plenty of people still saying that today.
Yeah.
The world would be better off without Christians. And the Pharisees most certainly thought the world would be much better off without Jesus.
Yeah.
It is an infectious virus that is only dangerous. But when you find it, you will see it has such great value that everything you thought was valuable will seem like has little to no value based on this.
Which feels super similar and tied into the repeated phrase of let those who have ears hear. Because it's like, it is going to sound crazy to you if you're not ready to hear it.
Right.
Because I was even kind of, like I said, I was in Kansas City with some people, and we were actually talking about sharing the gospel and someone hearing it, and it really clicked. And it's like, man, that's got to sound so bizarre to people that it doesn't click with.
Right.
That is just a really bizarre thing. But to the one who's ready to receive it, it sounds like the best news ever. And it just makes sense.
And I think the application, if there is a really good application, I think for us, it is we try to split the difference between those two.
The traditional and
no. Between last week's and this, where it's like I'm still holding on to a lot of the world systems and what the world values. You know, I love my shows that I watch. I love watching a movie. I am trying to, do well financially. I'm still holding on to a lot of different things, but Jesus is more important than all of that. But am I willing to sell everything that I have in pursuit of that?
Yeah.
I mean, I could say that to try to make you think well of me, but my life does not reflect that I have given up everything that is not kingdom for kingdom.
That's when you become a monastic person. And those don't really exist today.
Well, write that idea down when when you finally taught me into a church history.
I would love it. I've already read some about them.
Because we would the various monastic movements and what they got right and what they got wrong. You can't be a part of the mustard vine that is infecting the whole world
by removing yourself.
In your castle.
Yeah.
Whatever. You just can't. So they got a lot right, but missed something.
Yeah.
But anyways.
That's interesting. I really like this series.
Yeah, you enjoying it?
I really like it.
I'm waiting. Like you already made your intentions clear. You set the expectation that it's Q&A next.
Yeah, I think so.
I really don't know what's coming.
Good.
Like a Q&A session just based on parables in general, or the 4 sets that we've covered so far. What kinds of questions you're going to ask? Or is it going to be like, so for real though, if Northwest Arkansas is a part of the Midwest, where do you draw the borders? Does Farmington get in? Like, I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us and being a part of this, and join us next week as we continue with our series. We'll do some Q&A to kind of catch up, make sure we're all on the same page about where we are so far. And thanks for joining us. You want to connect more with our church, you can go to thegrovechurch.org/connect, and you can learn a lot about who we are, what we've got going on, how to get connected to our Sunday morning services, either in person or online. Either way, we'd love to hear from you, how we can help you, any questions you have. So thanks for being with us. Thank you as always, and see you next time. Thank Thank you for listening to the Cultivate podcast. Our hope is that you are taking steps to go deeper in your faith, that you are asking big questions and you're looking for answers. We hope that we can be a resource for you through our podcast and any other way that we can help you. You can find all our episodes anywhere that you can find podcasts, including YouTube. And again, thank you so much for joining us.